Welcome to the biology notes for section 6.6 over meiosis and genetic variation. I'm going to be covering this section in two parts. The objective for the first part is to describe how sexual reproduction creates unique gene combinations. We need to remember that the whole point of sexual reproduction was to create genetic variation. And the way that those unique gene combinations comes about is from random alignment of homologous chromosomes in metaphase 1 of meiosis 1. We already discussed that the total number of possible gametes that can be formed can be calculated using this equation 2 to the nth power. So for humans who have a diploid number of 46 chromosomes, have a haploid number of 23 chromosomes, and you can use that number n equals 23 to come up with how many possible gametes any human can form. So 2 to the 23rd power is that number of possible gametes. And it turns out that 2 to the 23rd power is 8 million plus different unique gene combinations. This section expands on that, though, to also talk about the total number of possible offspring between two parents. So if gametes from two parents come together, you have a new equation, 2 to the nth power times 2 to the nth. Since each parent had 8 million plus different possible combinations for gametes, when you combine those two gametes to make a new organism, you get an even bigger number. 2 to the 23rd power times another 2 to the 23rd power, 8 million plus times another 8 million is going to give you 64 trillion different possible combinations. A huge amount of genetic diversity from the same two parents. So we need to be able to calculate the total number of possible gametes and the total number of possible offspring no matter what the organism is. Not just for humans, but for anything. So these two examples, these two questions on this slide are going to help us do that. The first question asks, how many gametes can be formed by an organism if n equals 4? So I already know that the haploid number is 4, and I want to know how many gametes are formed. Since I want to know how many gametes are formed, I'm going to use that possible gametes equation that's 2 to the nth power. Since n equals 4, 2 to the 4th power is going to give me my answer. Remember, 2 to the 4th power is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and that's going to give me 16 total possible gametes. So using your haploid number and using that equation, you can come up with whatever you need to get. The second question asks how many possible offspring can result from sexual reproduction in fruit flies in which 2n equals 8. Their diploid number is 8. Again, I always need my haploid number, so I need to figure out what n is. If I divide by 2, I'm going to get 4, so my haploid number is 4, just like in the question before. This time, though, I'm trying to figure out the total number of possible offspring. So I'm going to use the other equation up above, 2 to the nth times 2 to the nth. Since n is 4, that means I have 2 to the 4th power times another 2 to the 4th power. I already found out that 2 to the 4th power is 16, so 16 times 16 is going to give me my answer. There are 256 different possible combinations, different possible offspring in that sexual reproduction of fruit flies.